G'day, Mick from Zegrills Australia here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your basic PID controller with one of the new wireless controllers. This is a 700 series hopper assembly here, but the same basic process applies for a 450A as well. Let's have a look at the components and tools you need to complete the process. The wireless controller, Wi-Fi antenna, kep nut to attach the earth green coloured wire, some cable ties, a Phillips head screwdriver, and snips, scissors, or even a knife to cut the cable ties. If your hopper assembly is still on your grill, you want to undo these 4 bolts and unplug the temperature probe here to slide this out. I've taken the top section of the hopper off as well, which does make it a lot easier to maneuver. Start by flipping the hopper assembly upside down. Go ahead and remove the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws that are holding the bottom plate in place. I'm going to rotate this around. You can now lift up the cover to access all the cables down below. We can now go ahead and cut all the cable ties inside. This light blue and black box, which is in line to the ignition rod cable, can be removed altogether. Unplug the fan, unplug auger motor, and unplug the power into the controller, which are these black and white cables. Next, we can undo the 2 screws for the controller and lift that out. Some of the screws might be quite tight, so use a bit of force to break them so you're not damaging the head of the screw. Remove the controller and flip it upside down again. We can now go ahead and pass the controller through with it upside down like this. Secure in place with the 2 screws. Okay, let's have a look inside at all the cables. Our green earth cable, which will connect down here. The temperature sensor cable you can pass down the side here and out the bottom. MOT motor goes to the auger motor. Fan goes to the main fan here, hot goes to the ignition rod, and the black and white goes to the plug with no label, which is the power into the controller. The color of your cables may be a little bit different, so just trace things back to the components. Fan, auger motor, and ignition rod cable down the side. Okay, let's plug everything together. Place the green earth wire on the top of this bolt and use the kep nut to secure in place. For the moment, just leave the antenna cable off to the side. We'll connect that last. Let's clean these cables up with 1 cable tie in the center, second one there, and we can use this hole here to secure everything nicely in place. Let's go ahead and trim those off. Make sure none of the cables are close to the main fan or the small fan on the front of the auger motor. Next, pass the antenna cable down through this slot next to where the power cable comes out. Tighten the nut just finger tight. Cable tie the antenna on the thick side, not on the thin cable. We can now put the cover back in place. Gently pull up the slack on the antenna and secure with a cable tie here. Put all the screws back in. We can now put it right side up. Just put something underneath here so you're not going to squash the power cable. If you want, you can plug it into power to see if it's working, but unless you connect the temperature sensor, it will throw an error. Like that. So plug it in and then you can actually fire it up and see the ignition rod getting hot, the fan blowing air, and the auger rotating, but you do need to have that plugged in. Okay, good work, job done. Now make sure you connect the controller to your Wi-Fi network using the Zegrills Aussie app on your Android or Apple phone and see if there's any updates available for the controller. If there are, please run those updates on the controller before you start to use the grill. Cheers.